Och nästa tur har vi Lars-Inge Sjöqvist, VD för Gapwaves. Välkommen.
Thank you very much. I think I also will continue in English if it's okay. We have a lot of people working for us and also customers who could be listening, so I would try to do this presentation in English. But you can of course put your questions in Swedish if you want. Yes, my name is Lars-Inge Sjöqvist. I am the CEO of Gapwaves, and I should present a little bit what we are doing in this company. Some of you have seen before, so I guess you know a little bit if you are shareholders as well. But anyway, this company is founded 2011, and it was a professor at Chalmers here in Gothenburg who started the company based very much on his invention of this gap technology, which is quite unique, I would say, for using into these RF equipment like antennas, etc. And we listed the company 2016 to finance the business and development. Today we are roughly 8,000 shareholders. There is an extensive patent portfolio in the company, meaning that we have today like 35 families. That means we have 35 different patents, but they also spread over the globe in many countries then, to protect our inventions, of course. And we are specialized today very much in the millimeter wave antenna spectrum, both for radar, and then we talk radar for cars, for example, and also for some communication equipment for telecom. These are the main areas. The technology as such is very unique in the way we can produce antennas. So really the key is how to produce waveguide antennas in high volumes. And this is what we really have in the company. And I will give you a little bit of a video here to show what that
looking
means.
into waveguide antenna technology, basically a metallic rectangular tube in two halves through which radio waves can travel with low losses. The electrical and magnetic fields from the wave induces electric current along the walls of the waveguide, resulting in high requirement on tolerances to avoid power and efficiency loss. Gapwaves replaces the method of using metallic walls with a metamaterial surface called an artificial magnetic conductor. A unique structured surface consisting of pins has the similar effect to a perfectly sealed wall, completely preventing the waves from propagating in undesired directions without even having to have contact around the waveguide. This allows for an effective waveguide to be built with dramatically relaxed tolerances, meaning it can utilize existing manufacturing technologies. 5G and autonomous driving are run on antennas. We hold the key.
Sorry for the very high volume. It was not my fault. I don't do anything with this sound. But anyway, I saw that the film also was a little difficult to see here. But I can just quickly explain. The technology is very much about a reliable construction to really make what we call waveguide antennas. And in these pictures you can see two different ways of doing waveguide antennas. The first one is based on the classical way that has been on the market since I will say 1950. So it's not a new thing. And it's very difficult to produce this kind of stuff, meaning that you make a rectangular waveguide channel into the metal, and then you can have a lid on top. But if you do that, then should connect it to each other and run this kind of waveguides inside, it will be very easy that there is a lot of leakage in between these two lids. Using the pin structure as we has as the patent structure here. It's a metamaterial we are using called gap technology, meaning that you can see also in the picture these walls based on these pins really take care of the wave and put it in there, and it could still be a little bit of gap in between these two layers. And this is very unique. Most people in these areas don't really understand this from the beginning. They say this is magic, you can't do like that. But that is what is happening in our technique. And still it's confusing for some people. But I'm very happy to be a leader for this company with this technology, because having this kind of very unique technique meaning that we are very interesting for a lot of interesting companies around the globe today. So talking something about the different areas, Automotive Radar. I don't know if everyone knows what that is, but you can use it in the car. Many cars have a radar today to detect if there is anything in front of the car or besides the car, which could be a hinder in some reason. And then it can stop the car as well. But that kind of equipment is based on a radar antenna like that one you see here. And that's the main area we are working with today, I can say. We also have some customers working with other verticals. We call them radar verticals. That could be drones, but it could also be delivery robots. Last mile delivery robots is also very interested of this kind of technology. Still, it's a radar with our antenna. And then we have the 5G telecom area as well. This is what we have been doing quite for a while. Still, most of the technology used in the telecom are not on the higher frequency level as we really can make the major difference. Talking here, the car radars, for example, for an automotive product is on 77 gigahertz, but most of the telecom business is still based on things on the like 6 up to 6 gigahertz. So if you are on the lower frequencies, our technique are not doing so much difference. But on the higher frequencies, it's a very, very big difference we can make for the customer. These are different versions of radar solutions or autonomous driving solutions for cars. We talk about different levels. We start with level 1, a little bit autonomous, but very, very little, I can say. And what we see in the future, after 2025, you will see more and more cars running on their own, so to say, without a driver. That means you need a number of sensors. It's not only radars, it will be cameras, it will be what they call LiDAR as well. And in these numbers of radars we can see growing here, our technique could be the most important part, I will say, for many of them. We will see it as a standard in the future. That's my belief. One customer is very clear on what they have achieved so far when they have measured on the antenna with their classical radar they have today. They just moved from a patch antenna to a waveguide antenna, and they gained like the 5 dB better performance on the system. And 5 dB in this case is like 3 times better performance in the radar solution. And that's a lot for these guys. Then we really can understand what we can see in front of the car. Not only that there is something, you can detect if it's a little kid or if it's a animal or if it could be a car or a truck or something, because that is not so easy if you don't have this, if you call it resolution as you can give to them. So that's the important part. Another application is what they call LiDAR. That is something based on laser light. So it's still as a camera using light. That means they are infected or impacted of if there is fog in the air or other things away, not like a lot of rain or snow or something. The LiDAR and the camera has problem. The radar is very robust in these cases, and we can see that on an imaging radar we produce today or our customers are producing today can really have the same field of view or understanding of the surroundings as in the LiDAR, which is the best of the market today. And this product is a lot much more expensive than the radar, so it's an interesting thing to compete with. Here is a little bit the different verticals we work with, the segments, and also you can see some customer names typically we are approaching. And most of the customers we are working with really is major big players on the earth today. And then that means if we come in with the technology, we also have the possibility to give them or be a supplier for many years. That's the typical thing we can see with the tier ones in the automotive industry. When they replace the current antenna solution on a radar and go over to waveguide antennas, it will be for many years. And that's, I would say, being a standard for the new version of radars, as we can achieve so much better performance and also better price. what we do also in this area about production, we do have a supplier in China, in Malaysia, which is named Franken. But we develop here in Gothenburg also what we call a production cells for how to put these layers together, and that's what we call a gap packer. And we also make one what we call a gap tester, which is really for testing each antenna, because they are individuals when we deliver them to the car industry or to anyone else. Everyone is measured. And today we have here in Gothenburg the current capacity of 150,000 antennas we can produce here yearly as well. But these are things we are selling outside the antennas, so to say. We are developing and selling these kind of systems as well. Today, the established business we do have is license agreement with two very big companies. It's Veoneer and it's Hella. Both are automotive tier 1 companies. Hella also is an investor in the company today, and with 10% of the capital. We also work with 3 more automotive tier 1s, and we also have Tech Guy and some other radar verticals in the company. So there are a number of customers on that side buying antennas for radar, but there is also some engagement on the 5G telecom side. But today, I will say that most important for us is really to approach the automotive. And we have produced like 12,000 antennas for the customer Under in US, which is a very interesting customer as well. Maybe it's time for the questions, or are we running out of time? Yep. Then I leave this last ones because it's better you can have your questions coming up as well.
Thank you for the presentation. Do we have any questions from the audience? Yes, one here.
I see a lot of technology,
Wait.
but I don't see the money.
What do you mean with that? Sorry.
One more time, in the microphone.
I see a lot of technology, but I don't see the money.
Where do you don't see the money? You mean, should I present our results? You mean, is that you're asking for, or is it something else? We are, as I said, maybe very important to tell that again. When we come in with a product in the automotive industry like Hella, they are selling these products to their customer, which could be the automotive industry, OEMs. And they buy things for 15 years, but it starts 2023, 2024. So still we are in I would say, development phase, and also approaching in taking these kind of big deals. Hella is a typical one. If we are successful with them, we will be with them for many, many years, and that will be the volume and the money. Typically, one. But okay, we also made some money last year. But that's more on the projects we are running with the customers currently, not selling the product yet.
Yes, and we have also received a question from the web. And in a recent presentation, it was said that it was intended to be a production at this time next year with an estimated volume of 3 million antennas annually. Do you have the capacity for that, or must it be built up?
The capacity for producing antennas is based on our supplier in China. Franken is the name of the company, and they are currently ramping up so they can have a delivery beginning next year on 3 million units. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that they are also in agreement with Hella to be the producer of the antenna. So that's set, I can say. Yeah.
And how are the talks with the customers, suppliers, as a result of the war in Ukraine? It is business as usual, or should we expect deferred orders or other disruption in the supply chain?
I can say that most discussions regarding the war is that every meeting we have with customers and also suppliers normally starts with 5 minutes talk about the war, and people are very sad about it because anyone can't see the real thing about it, why it happened. At the same time, when that is done, it's business as usual all over. There is no difference for us yet. It could happen if this will last for a long time, of course, but so far nothing.
No disruption
No,
at all?
no.
Okay. And yeah, there is also some questions about inflation in the market. Do you experience any price increases from suppliers, and can you forwarding these price increases to your customers?
That needs to happen if the price, for example, on plastic will increase. I mean, because of the oil price, it will also mean something for the customer in the end. Yes.
Yeah, so you think you can forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's we are not binded to any price in that sense. If there are this kind of big fluctuations, we are also free to discuss new pricing.
And which of the 3 areas, automotive, telecom, and other verticals, do you feel has the greatest potential this year and in the 3 years to come?
I would say that typically these new verticals, not really automotive industry, are the ones we will see coming into the market quickest. Like Under is already they have buy like 14,000 antennas from us, and these are already delivered to someone. We don't know exactly who, but someone is using these antennas today in different products. I think it's a delivery robot they are running with. Automotive will start later, 2024 in the summer. I have told everyone before, and that's the start for Hella. The other customer, Veoneer, I'm not sure really, because they are doing their product development themselves, so we don't really have the full insight in when they should launch the product. But what I have heard is that they already have these antennas installed in the latest version of the radar of Veoneer, and it's for sale on the market at the moment. And that means it will start to come some royalty when they sell it to the customer.
And it's hard to estimate.
Probably 2023 will be a year when we see some royalty from that. Yes, but not before 2024. You see the Hella, and before that you will have antennas sold to like Under and other imaging radar solutions. We are in a number of very interesting deals here, mostly Americans, I can say, in this area of autonomous driving solutions.
And you will leave the position as a CEO and later this year. What is the most important success during your time as the CEO, and what are the
most
successful?
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what are the conditions for growing in the future?
Yes, really. I was starting in this company 2014. We didn't have so much at that time. We were like 2 persons. It was the professor, myself, and 1 employed. And I think we have achieved quite a lot. One of the main point here was for me to commercialize this company, really to bring us in with this technology into very big customers. One very important achievement was last summer when we signed a contract with Hella, for sure, because that really is a sign for now we are really into the business for, I will not say ever, but for a long time. Yeah. And most other companies in that area, in the tier 1 industry, are asking for the same thing today. So it's really starting to be I would say an interesting period in the company, really, to take on more contracts, because that will happen.
And finally, what do you see the company is in 3 years?
You will see in 3 years, that's 2025, we will have some interesting sales on let's say 10 different customers. You will see our solutions up and running, and people will know about Gapwaves.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.